Welcome back to the circle, everybody. If you didn't know, now you do. This is the place where I bring artists of all kinds, whether they be painters, writers, artists, rappers, musicians, or if you just want to come on here and have a conversation, we do that too. In fact, we have a whole show dedicated to me bringing on people one-on-one and just having an in-depth conversation. We'll get to that in a second. But if you want to come on the show and express yourself, like I said, this is where I bring artists of all kinds, and they are free to express themselves in any way they feel necessary or fit. We don't censor on this show. We don't judge on this show. It's a really open place to come and express yourself and show off your art to your fellow artists and to your fellow human beings. Just make some really cool connections. So if you're interested in coming on the show, message me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler. Or on Gmail at lostboy420x@gmail.com. That's Dylan Lawler on Facebook, or lostboy420x@gmail.com. And also make sure you go subscribe and follow us on all the platforms. Tonight and every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Actually, I have recently started putting it up on no, I can't even remember the name of it, but it's that thing you guys watch your video games on. Some people have been requesting that I put it at, it's either Steam or the other one, but you guys have been requesting that I put it on there. So right now we are currently live on all three: Facebook, YouTube, and I believe it is Steam. So go check us out every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on those. And then you can check out extra clips on the YouTube channel, on the TikTok channel, on the Instagram. And then the next day I will post the audio version of these episodes on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. So make sure you go keep a lookout for those and follow and subscribe to us on all the platforms. And like I was saying earlier, we have a show dedicated to coming on here and having just a one-on-one conversation, and that is our show Lost Boys Presents Deep Cuts. And that is a show where I bring artists on one-on-one, and it's a chance for us to go deeper into each other's minds and just have a deeper conversation. It's a lot of fun. Those are on the YouTube channel as well, so go check it out. And next we also have something that we have put on temporary hiatus, but it is coming back. We are getting into the colder months. I'm trying to figure out how to do some outdoor stuff in those colder months still. But we have a show called Lost Boys Presents Lost in the Woods with me and my buddy Brandon Coombs, who helps produce the show. We go out in the woods with cameras, and it's outdoor adventure vlog. We hunt, we fish, we fish, we hike. Maybe in the wintertime we can get our hunting license, and that can be something that goes on there. I don't know. We'll figure something out for the winter for you guys. But keep a lookout for that. And if you want to donate to us at all, you can go to Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, all the same tag, LostBoy420X. Don't forget the X, or you will type in someone else's tag. That being said, guys, before we get into the show, I always like to do two things. And one is give a trigger warning, and two is give a piece of advice. So first, the trigger warning. As I said at the beginning of this show, it's a place to come openly express yourself. So a lot of the times we can get into some triggering topics because we are expressing our inner demons and the things we're going through. It's not meant to upset anybody, but if it does, for whatever reason, no matter whether it be artist or audience member, feel free to click out at any time. And like I said, we do this every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, come back next time, or just, wait till the triggering piece of content is over. But also, the piece of advice that I try to give everybody is generally the point of this show is for me to reach out to people and for people to come on here and, like I said, express themselves to their fullest. And I think that's the healthiest way to deal with whatever you're going through. So my best piece of advice would be, don't lock your shit up. Don't bottle it up. Don't keep it inside, and just know that there's always people that you can talk to, and there's always people that you can reach out to who are willing to listen. That's what this show is all about. There's everybody on the show is more than willing to come on here and listen to you. I have another show where I just sit down and talk to you. You can message me privately. And also, I mean, though you might not think so, your friends, your family members, your coworkers, there's somebody in your life that gives a shit and is willing to listen to you. You just have to be willing to take that step and reach out. So reach out to people, come on the show. Just don't keep it bottled up. And if you want some professional resources to reach out to, thank you, Brandon. You can go to 988. You can text 988 or go to their lifelinecrisis.com. It's a website with resources, trained professionals, stuff like that, to give you some guidance and some help. And there's also betterhelp.com, and they hook you up with an online therapist. And the best thing about it that I think is, besides the price, from what I've heard, is that if you don't like the therapist that they hook you up with, they'll switch you out with another one. So I hope some people find some help there, or on the show or in their everyday life. And yeah, let's have a good show. That being said, I'm going to kick us off with a piece of my own. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just a piece. It's just kind of how I was feeling, so I'll just get into it. It's called Soapbox. Watch as I get in my soapbox again. Talk about darkness and talk about death. It's 4 a.m. and I ain't been to bed. I'm feeling like putting a gun to my head. The artist inside me says, paint the walls red. I'm feeling this feeling of dread. I feel like I'm peeling my skin. I'm a mess. And this really is just as real as it gets. I tried to tell y'all every line that I spit. It might be my last because I'm broken as shit. And I've been telling y'all this, but it don't seem to click. Don't know what part you don't get. My heart has been tearing apart and I can't get a grip. I mean that I can't come to grips with the fact that my health has been taking a dip. And I try to heal it with the bourbon I sip, but the truth is the booze, it'll kill just as quick. So I try to tell myself it is what it is. But if it is all there is, then there's something amiss. When I try to reach out, I just feel like a wimp. So I bottle it up and I keep it all in. Because I feel like my voice, it makes everyone sick, and y'all are just tired of hearing me, bitch. He complains way too much, and he always seems pissed. No wonder his relationship seemed to be on the fritz, because he just blames the dark like a scared little kid and refuses to pull himself out of this pit, always balling his fist like a 2-year-old fit. When things don't go his way, he just flips off his lid. Man, why does that girl want to be with this dick? I try to make everyone happy. They're always upset. They think that I'm wearing an S on my chest, but I'm losing all hope because this life is a mess, and it's hard to remember what S represents. Is it the time I invest to progress my success? Is it the way that I carry my stress when I'm scared and depressed? Is it the views I address or the feelings expressed? Is it the way I'm exposing my soul like I'm getting undressed? Is it me giving my all and no less till I take my last breath? Is it the breadth and depth of the words that I've said? Is it the intent and the essence of sentences read? Or is it the lines I put lessons and messages in? Nah, they want the tears and the blood that I've shed. They want the best of the best, but the best are all dead. And you can't be the best till you're resting with them. So it might just be best if this ended in death. And I guess I'll digress, but I said what I said. No matter how much I confess on the mess in my head, no one intends on investing a cent until then. So my biggest fear is it comes to an end before the day comes when I finally transcend. I want to leave something behind for my family and friends. I want them to be proud when they call me a friend. I'm so fucking tired of doing my best just to be told that there's more they expect. Just to be told I neglect and be filled with regret. Always fall short when they come to collect. It's never enough, and I'm never at rest. No wonder I write at 4:20 a.m., puffing my meds just to stay on the mend. I do the best that I can, but I guess that I'm destined to mess up the plan. But was there a plan? Sometimes it feels like I must have been damned from the start of this, man. My mama taught me to keep being the man that I am. But what is a man if a man cannot stand? I tried standing my ground, but it turned to quicksand. I tried being myself, but don't meet the demand, so I keep to myself to defeat the resent. I guess I'm at my best when I should be in bed, getting some rest so I'm feeling my best when I wake to this mess and get bested again. And that is Soapbox. Uh, yeah. So we're gonna bring up our first guest. Shit. I love how I fucking started the show off saying don't bottle it up, and then I specifically did a piece about that. Um, anyway, our first guest tonight is Nia, not Nia, Neela. We have both of them on tonight, so I'm gonna get a little mixed up. But Poetry Rose is Neela, and Lady Crucible is Nia. But our first guest is Neela, Poetry Rose. She's a poet who posts daily on the Lost Boys Facebook page. So go check that out and join. It's you don't even have to answer any of those stupid questions. You can just join free and see all of her wonderful pieces that she posts daily. You can also go to her TikTok and follow her at Poetry Rose 42 or her Instagram at Poetry Rose 1. And her Facebook is Neela McSwain, which is where she posts from all on the Lost, both on her page and the Lost Boys group, I should say. So I will play her flyer and get her up here.
This poem is called Symphony. The orchestra is brewing me. It's been happening for years. Why is the destiny I'm in? Can't pretend I know why. I wish for the die, for the revival to come. I am the one who believes, so true. Don't know why, the you, but I have come. So let the strings play. I am the horns. Let the drums beat. It's the rhythm in my feet. He, she, full female with male sensibilities. Elohim. She is harmony, the falsetto in the air. Is she aware? No, she just beats on through. She's the hip-hop in you. The poetry you speak, spoken words on repeat. She is the me. The awakening is happening. All we see, God was always a. That poem is called Symphony.
Hey, I can't remember when you sent that to me. I for some reason I don't remember that piece. Like I'm the one who made the flyer, obviously, but
Yeah,
was that
I think
was is that an older one? I think.
that's an older one.
Yeah,
That
that's
was,
what I thought.
yeah, first time I was on your show, I think.
Really? Yeah. So
Yeah,
what happens is I have I have them all saved, and I go in and I find one that matches the correct like information. Follow you on all these platforms or whatever.
right,
I make sure all those are right, but I don't really focus too heavily on which one is which matched with which video because I just you send me a new video and I make you a new one, but
right.
um yeah, no, I really like that one. And I like when I hear a piece that like I haven't heard in a long time and it's like fresh to me again.
Yeah, yeah. I do
That's
too. That's what I'm kind of showing today. They're just like older pieces that I did, and I'm
nice.
just, reading them again. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, how have you been?
I have been doing really good actually. I put some, a little steam behind the book. So I have the title now, and it's going to be titled The Madhouse.
The
And
Madhouse.
the madhouse, and the direction for it is going to be just from childhood to now and how my love for artistry. So it's going to be a little bit of my story and then the poems that match with that time and knowledge and just feeling, and yeah, that's how the book's going to go. So it's nice. So I'm happy to say that. Yeah.
Awesome. I am super excited. And I don't know if you saw it the other day, but I made a post and just saying like I watch you are much more active than me on my own Facebook group, which I commend you for. Um, but whether I'm posting or not, I am constantly watching everything that everybody's doing and their success and their new book projects or their new podcast projects or their new, so many different things people have going on. And I'm just like astonished at the, you know, growth that you guys are having and the steps that you guys are taking. It's awesome.
That's so cool. So good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I do.
I go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think it's great. I love posting on the group. And lately, life's just been lifing and stuff like that. So, the inspiration is just a little bit different during these times. And sometimes you just can't get saturated in what's going on. Me and Nia, we were talking about the Marcellus earlier. And, we can't, once you get saturated in those times, it kind of dampens your soul. So you kind of got to step away. So I haven't been posting daily like I normally do. But yeah, I've definitely been posting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what does it? You know what kind of like saps my at like no, I shouldn't say creativity or energy, just my like hope for humanity. And then like it kind of like brings a dark cloud over my head where I'm like, well, fuck, like is just all the like I don't know if I can watch another second of true crime or another celebrity or political figure doing something god awful horrible. I don't think I can watch another second of it, dude.
I can't.
It's just so much. I just
It's
uh
too much. Yeah, it's too much.
it's yeah, it's too much. And yeah, I agree with you. It kind of brings like a dark cloud over everything. And but that's kind of our jobs as artists though, is to fight through that cloud and bring a little light through the
Yeah,
darkness
we're the light. That's
sometimes.
why we have. That's why I'm really happy that you have shows like these and like you were saying the podcast. I don't know if you've been on Poppy's Poetry Corner. I think you follow her. I'm not sure or not, but
I most definitely have.
yeah.
I was on there quite a bit when she first started. Actually,
Oh,
so
okay.
that,
That's
now
good.
that you mention it, yeah, I was on there for a while. Anyway, but yeah, you were saying about
Yeah, just those shows and stuff like that to where we don't have to watch the mainstream stuff anymore, just you guys having these type of shows. And I've also been watching like Balloon Pop Dating. That one's hilarious. Have you seen that one, Balloon Pop Dating?
no, I don't think I
No.
have.
You have to watch it, I swear. But I just do anything to keep me in the happy and to make sure that I'm keep writing some type of light, some type of spark, some type of even thought provocation is good also. So anything that deems a conversation of understanding versus the drama. The
I
drama.
feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to is just you know finding a place where you can, even if you don't agree with everybody, see perspectives and just instead of just fighting, because it's constant fighting. It's no matter what you
Yeah.
do, everyone is just at each other's throats,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. So
No
I
one's
think that
seeking to
like that's
understand. Seek to
it,
understand. Versus to make your point. And
absolutely.
you'll heal a lot more. I'll just say that.
Absolutely. And honestly, that's what for me, that's what this show and that's what my art is about is healing, healing myself and healing others. But you have to heal yourself before you can even attempt to heal others, you know?
Yeah.
So it's about finding a place of understanding within yourself before you can make any because if you don't understand it and you're not confident in yourself and your own beliefs, how are you gonna make anybody else understand or you can't.
Yeah, you
So
can't. Yeah, if you don't know what you stand upon, then how are you gonna teach me anything? To tell you the truth, but
absolutely.
it doesn't mean I can't be what's it called taught a different creed. maybe the logic of a creed didn't hit until you actually understood what that person was talking about. So it opened up your mind to something, even bigger,
Mhm.
those type of things. So those are the conversations I like. I like, just thought, deep conversations, just there's just different levels of knowledge. I just think, people say, we only use 10% of our brain, but, what if that just means, people think it's like lifting a TV or opening a door, but what if that just means thought processes and, different levels of beacons that you can reach, and, so you
See,
never know.
people misconstrue that. It's not that we use all of our brain. It's that we're only putting 10% of it to it's like we're not living up to our full potential. That's what that means. It's not saying we use the entire thing. All parts of our brain, like they all light up when you scan them. They all glow in different spots when active. We use the whole thing. It's saying we're not using it to its full potential. I think that's what that phrase means. And I think people have misconstrued it to mean that we only use 10% of our brains and like that. It's a bad way of saying it. I think whoever phrased that was not was not a poet, obviously.
No, because it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I love, you know making extremist stuff reality, because when you put it as reality, you can actually utilize it. You know what I mean? When you stop thinking of it as a fairy tale, then you can start utilizing, what they taught us is, a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So,
Um, well, anyway, you have some work to share with us tonight. What is the first piece you would like to share with us?
the first piece is called Fire Cobra.
All right. And I'll just get that up there and I'll get myself out of here and let you do your thing.
Okay. This piece was inspired by the thought that maybe the snake wasn't the evil entity in the garden, I guess. So this poem is called Fire Cobra. I don't bite, I hiss. Sit next to me and relax. I will not attack. This is my home. You see the rocks and the drip of the rainforest. Here, here, sit. Are you hungry? I will feed you then. What do you need to understand? I go where the winds take me. The fire follows just in case I need a friend. He was created by me, so the loyalty he gives is what I wish you'd find. So, what is it this time? Why do they seek light? Just to dim. You don't comprehend, huh? Well, we are forever. They developed, they are for now. It's just how they were made. They don't know they didn't have to choose that way. So while they believe all will go, then that's the goal they want to achieve. So they seek light, not knowing the light you seek is only bright due to your darkness. You do search to understand. You were created by the same hands. The inferiority they feel is real because they don't want to be anything else. So self destructive is excellence to them. Anything else? How do we stay happy? By knowing you, even in black, are what they lack. So smile at that. All the insults they throw at you are really their insecurities. So stay in simplicity. That's why you'll eternally be. That poem is called Fire Cobra.
I love it. I love it. I love when you said your your light is only bright because of the darkness.
Yeah.
Um and I love that. First of all, I love that you are always playing the devil's advocate.
Hmm.
Whether it be, your Joker poem or whatever it is, but you're always, playing that devil's advocate angle, and that's something I really love. And I love how, I mean, because that for me, if my like I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day. He was like, he heard Eminem's gonna be a granddad, and he was like, "Oh, that kid's gonna be spitting bars," and I was like, "Well, I don't think so because for me to be an artist, you kind of have to be a little fucked up. You're gonna have to have kind of a shitty childhood or something happened to you in your life or some
Yeah.
kind of darkness to draw from. You know, to project your outer light, you have to have
Yeah.
some type of darkness to draw from. And just like Haley, that kid's gonna have too good of a life. You
Yeah.
know, he's gonna make sure she has him and her are both gonna make sure, it has a great life. So it's
Yeah.
not gonna really. That's why Haley's not a singer or an artist because she had a good
Well,
life,
he
in
just
my
has to
opinion.
find his lane too. You never know. He can find his lane that will spark a different perspective in hip hop. So you never know. You know. That's a poem I'm kind of working on of a perspective because a lot of people, everybody says, money can't buy you happiness. Everybody says that, but a lot of people don't think about the trauma ensued in people who automatically believe just because you grew up rich, you were happy. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm,
it's a perspective I'm working on. Um, I don't know
mm,
why. It's just a perspective I'm
yeah.
working on because I just feel you know a lot of people don't hear the cries of also the rich kids or the kids in the hills. They don't hear those cries because they automatically just believe, oh, you were rich. You grew up this
Right.
way, so you were fine. But they're also out there, committing suicide and doing drugs and doing things that are dark and
No,
because
absolutely.
because nobody's hearing their cries because it's just
Well, no.
rich, you're
Here's the
good,
thing:
everything's
is I
okay.
said and I said a bad. And here's the thing: a bad childhood can be your parents don't give a shit about you and they neglect you and you don't have anything. You're poor. A bad childhood can also be your parents are at work all the time and yeah you have an expensive car and a bunch of and they let you go and do whatever you want, but that like your parents letting you do whatever you want fucks you up just as bad
Yeah,
as your parents beating you, bro. Like it really does. Like it and that is just as neglectful as getting beaten on or anything of the like. So but yeah, no, I wasn't saying it was necessarily classified to a tax bracket or a certain like
oh, I
demographic
know, I know,
people.
nothing
I
to
was
put.
just more saying like artists tend to make the best art when they're drawing from pain or some kind of turmoil,
Yeah,
that's more so what I was saying. But you're also right. Everybody, you can drown in an ocean and you can drown in a drop of water. Everybody's pain is relative, you
yeah,
know. When the 5-year-old stubs his toe, he feels like when I fucking cut my arm on a sharp piece of metal. The two pains are different, and one is greater, but they're relative because he's 5 years old. It feels to him like he just got his arm cut open. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, you're right. Everybody's pain is relative, and everybody's situations are relative. And what you're going through, you seem as bad as like somebody's garbage is another man's treasure, but the reverse is true as well. Somebody's treasure is another man's garbage.
Right.
So it's you get the good and the bad. You get if you get the rich life, there's shitty things that come with it. You have the poor life, there's shitty things that come with it. It doesn't. There's no winning. There's no winning.
There's no such thing as perfect. Is the point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So real quick, I'm gonna just bring these other artists up to see what they thought
That
about your
sounds
piece.
great.
Do. Lady Crucible, what did you think? You're muted. Hello? I think you might be frozen. Oh no. There you are. Hold on. There you go.
I'm gonna just throw the whole laptop in the garbage. Just throw the whole laptop in the garbage. Your words. First off, it's like a symphony, and everything seems to play in key. But how can they expect perfection to be perfected when perfection doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, you hit that one dead on the nail. That was just like, you know, yeah.
Yeah. You understand?
So
Yeah.
we snaps all around the globe.
Yeah. It doesn't exist. Just the truth.
There's
What's
like
happening?
mad interference. Does
I
anybody
know.
hear
I'm
that, or is
hearing
it
it.
just me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. There's
All
a
right, I
lot
was
of
trying to
feedback.
figure out what it is, and I'm having a hard time figuring out. Give me one moment. All right, I'm gonna mute everybody
Okay.
and then unmute you one at a time and see who it is. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. All right. It's not Neela. Um, Robin, I think it might be you that the status is coming in on.
Fan. I have a fan running. Is that better?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
No, that's no worries.
yeah, that's a little better. All right. Lawrence, you were
Yes.
what were you what did you think of Neela's piece?
Can you hear me?
Yes. And actually, you know what, guys? Here's how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna have everybody mute your mics until you're ready to speak. And then yeah, we'll just do it like that. That works.
Okay. So, yeah, a lot of what Dylan was saying, he took words right out of my mouth. But yeah, I've always observed your work in which you always played the devil's advocate, and I love that angle that you kind of bring into all your poetry. It speaks loudly for a lot of us, and the conversations that you guys were just having about pain and grief reminded me of something I just wrote the other day. It was a quote for a poem that I wrote, but from depths of sorrow, shadows rise, where grief and rage ignite the skies. Unforgiven pain, a vengeful flame. Yet through the ashes, I reclaim my name. And that your poem reminded me so much of the pain and the agony and the depressions that I've been living through lately. And I really appreciate you because it just spoke so loudly to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm really glad that, that's, I always like to provoke thought, healing, something, in different perspectives, because I think it's more
Absolutely.
warranted and needed and to open up conversations about spirituality, religion, and,
Absolutely.
just people's beliefs and stuff like that. Everything's just not stamped in mold, especially when, the old way is about the murder of people, when
Yeah.
we just want to have conversations about, what do we believe when we're about to die, what do we believe when we're feeling sorrowful or sad, those type of
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
it's time for it to actually represent healing, and people to be
Absolutely.
heard,
And
their
and
perspective to be heard.
and these times and these days, we need that healing. We definitely
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. No problem.
Absolutely. Robin, what did you think?
I remember that you need it. I loved it. I loved it, and I'm gonna say one of the best things about it is it was simple. I think great, and I don't mean that in a negative way by any means. Right now, I think we really need to reach out to as many people as we can, and get more people to listen. And I think being complicated or wordy or like real, I don't know, trying to sound too smart, like just that kind of thing is really needs to go out the window. And that's what I loved about it. It was understandable and it was truth, and I loved it. I think you're very smooth when you're delivering your poetry for sure. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very. I love that Dylan gives us space, and I loved your poem. I loved your piece in the beginning, Dylan. I meant to tell you that. He's muted.
With
He's,
that,
you're
say
muted.
it's not confidence. It's
See, there I go doing it.
But I did. I did. I loved your piece in the beginning, and I meant to tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't bring anybody up to like comment on my piece just to like for time's sake, but I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
You're
Yeah, it
welcome.
was just like so I've had some like projects that I'm working on or whatever, but I didn't really feel like sharing those. So I just went and tried to find a piece that like I was basically what I do is I go through, what I have or whatever, and I'll be like, all right, which kind of speaks to me, what am I kind of feeling that week or that day, and that was it. So yeah, thanks, appreciate it.
You're
Um,
welcome.
that being said, guys, I am going to get us on to our next guest of the night, um, Lady Crucible, um, or Nia, and she is a poet from Chicago, and you can go follow her. Don't go follow her in Chicago. That's illegal. You'll get arrested. Go follow her instead on Instagram at lady_crucible. Um, that's Crucible. Um, and then subscribe at YouTube or on YouTube at Poetic Priestess. And most not most but quite a few shows. I mean, she's every maybe like 2 or 3 weeks she'll be on here, so make sure you check her out on here too. And she's also a member of our Lost Boys group, and she's been a member of Lost Boys for a long time, so it's great to have her here. Welcome Nia Conley back to the show.
Sometimes in life, you gotta go hard for what you want. If you wanna be successful, it's all about determination and being committed to your vision. Have faith, push hard. Put in work, every day I wake up, all I wanna do is grind. Put in work, put in work.
Hey, what up?
What it do? What it do? Also, look, I forgot all about that video.
Yeah, you're the one who made the video.
I know,
I
right?
just kind of fucking worked it in with a like.
Hey,
Yeah, I
the
just
tweaking was perfect. The tweaking was perfect. It just blended right in.
yeah, did that little thunder strike at the beginning
Oh
because
yeah,
you had like lightning on the screen, so I was like, yo, this fucking thunder sound effect sounds perfect right there.
oh, yeah.
So
That
yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely,
that's dope. That's dope. Well, thanks for coming
definitely.
back. How you been?
Hey, I've been chilling. You know me. I'm writing, getting ready to get this book together.
Hell yeah,
Go and
hell
get that
yeah.
author. You got to go and get that new title under my belt.
Nice. So it's not titled yet.
I think my book is gonna be called My Journey into the Darkness.
I think you have mentioned that before. I think
Mm,
there's either last time you came on. I think you had that worked out. I like that.
yeah.
I like that. And then the sequel can be My Journey Out of the Darkness.
Honestly, it's gonna be like a 3-part sequel. So it's gonna be My Journey into the Darkness, My Journey into the Light, and then My Poetic Breakthrough.
Hell yeah! Fuck
Be
yeah,
like a
dude!
3-part sequel.
I like that. I like that,
They
and
say,
and I'm waiting for that, and I genuinely mean it when I say that like I am fans of you guys, like on an actual fan level, where I follow you guys' shit and I wait for you guys' new projects, and I keep up with it. Like I am constantly waiting for everybody's new projects. So, and you guys both got a book coming out. We're working on a book, so I can't wait to see it, man. It's awesome.
I can't wait. It's like a dream come true. You know, most people was like, "Well, why are you really writing a book?" Well, first off, it's always been a dream of mine. It's a goal. You know, so being able to sit here and actually work on that goal and the excitement that's gonna be behind it once I'm done. Cause see, this book is for me, true enough, but it's also a legacy I'm leaving behind for my children and my grandchildren. So it's like
Absolutely.
they know what path to be on when I'm not here. So that's my goal.
I mean, that's all you. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of life and of making art, right? Is for it to carry on and be there after you're gone. You know, to give people guidance, the ones you love, and then after they're gone, hopefully your music continues to, you know, go on for generations and give others guidance and whatnot. Yeah, I mean that's because no matter what way you look at it, we're all gonna die. Our life
Right.
on this planet really isn't that fucking long, and the only thing you can do is
Really not.
try to leave a footprint behind. You know,
Exactly. Got to. Got to. I want them to be able to leave when they go to look and be like, man, where my mama footprint at? They gonna know where it's at because I'm gonna make sure they know where it's at before I leave. That way
oh
they know
man,
where to
that just
find.
reminds
Trust.
me. Oh man, that just reminds me of that scene in freaking Land Before Time where
Yeah.
I can't even speak on it. Can't even speak on it. But just the footprint you were talking, you know, the dinosaur footprint of his mom. Oh, I can't. It's too much.
Right. You know
Uh,
what? That just made me to sit here. That just gave me a whole title prompt in my head. If I leave my footprints in the sand.
shit, man. Oh, yeah. No, I mean that. Like I said, that's all you can do is try to leave, you know, some kind of legacy behind. You know, some footprint in the sand. Absolutely. Um,
Right.
you got some work for us tonight. What's the
Yes,
first
I
piece you want to
did.
share with us?
So the first piece I'm gonna do is: do you have the capacity to imagine my suffering?
All right, all right. Well, I'm gonna drop myself out of here, and I'll let you get to it.
All righty. All right, guys. Do you have the capacity to imagine my sufferings? The weight of 1,000 stones crushing my chest. Every stone, that memory of betrayal, that promise shattered like glass under my foot. Those shards piercing my veins. This fire and rage, my heartbeat bruised from anguish. Those pulses become eradicated to battles lost. Those silent screams reverberating through walls. The hollow ache of being unheard. Can you taste my bitterness? That seats in the crevices, those ashes of dreams left to smolder, relentless cycle of hope drowned, laughter feeling like a knife, those serrated edges twisting in the wounds of yesterday. Imagine waking each day, a warrior on the battlefield with no armor, the ground beneath slick with pain, each step a question mark, each and every breath a struggle to breathe. My eyes blindfolded, standing at the edges of my vision. Do you see the shadows that cling to my skin, the ghost of what could have been? Those whispers taunting and teasing. Torment and torture mentally disfigured, gasping tightly, only to watch it slip like sand through my fingers. Can you feel the atmosphere, my righteous anger? Molten rage of a battered and bruised heart? Can you fathom the ache of wanting to scream, releasing this rush of emotions, finding the words caught on the palate of my throat? The silence of suffering played out in the quiet hours as the night wraps its cold hands around my heart. So tell me, do you have the capacity to imagine my suffering? To walk in my shoes if I put them before you? To tie them up tight for you, even if I tie them up tight for you? Handle the storm that I've walked through, wear the scars that map my journey, the inedible ink of my pain, sewn in the very fabric of my being. Poem.
Ooh, ooh, god damn. That you killed that shit. That might be one of my favorites that I've ever heard from you, honestly. Uh, I mean, yo, there's so much I like about it. I mean, first of all, yo, I can see you getting so much better with your metaphor. Like, not better, just more. more thought out and more complex with your metaphors, and also your delivery. I mean, and that part in the middle where you fucking the gasp, the delivery is just phenomenal, phenomenal. But oh man, there's that so many fucking lines, and I just wish I had the ability to write them down as fast as I like wanted to when I'm, but there's so many lines that like just really fucking just reach out and grab you or just punch you in the face. Like you said something about the serrated edges of your pain.
The serrated edges of a knife. Wait a minute, hold it. Wait a minute, hold it. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Somewhere along here. I know this in here somewhere. Look, Lord, I don't
I just
read
want
those.
I want someone to clip this. This is the clip for the week, guys. This is the clip.
Look, that's bad when you got to go back and look for it
That's
because you
quality
thought
content.
relentless cycle of hope, drowned, laughter feeling like a knife, those serrated edges twisted in the wounds of yesterday.
Oh man, I love that. And at the end where you said in my inedible the
My
inedible
ink
ink of my
inedible.
pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh dude, yeah. I mean, everything from delivery to just not even just the complexity of the metaphors, but the way they reach out and just smack you in the face. Like it's one of those pieces where it's like it reaches out, it grabs you, and it asks you all these questions, and then at the end, it kind of like pushes you back, and it's like, all right, and it's like, but do you have the capacity, and it's
It's like when I wrote this piece, it was like me speaking to my inner demon. Like, can
I
you feel my suffering? Can you really tell me what my suffering feel like? Can you really, really feel what I'm going through? Even though you causing the pain, but do you feel what I feel? Can you take what I take? Can you walk that storm? If I put my shoes on your feet and tie them up for you, I promise
oh
you won't
man,
make it.
that dude, that line, oh, that was perfect. I love that line. I fucking love that line.
Like if I gave my shoes to you and then even tied them up for you, can you make it to the end of the block? I doubt it. You you
I
you
like
you
that.
you gonna wonder why you got third-degree burns on your feet because them soles burning you.
I
Trust me,
have
I
a I
know.
have a similar line in a piece I wrote that said, "Put on my shoes and walk a mile in them, and then show me the bruises and blisters on your feet afterward." Uh,
Hey,
yeah, I mean, it's like we were talking about at the beginning of the piece. Like I was talking about with her, pain is relative. Everyone's, you ain't putting on anyone else's shoes. You're
right.
not that. You're
Walking
not
in my
them.
own.
You're not them. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, that piece was
That piece.
phenomenal.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank
that.
you.
And I like what you said about how it's like talking to your inner demons because it did kind of remind me of my speaking of demons. I have a piece titled "Speaking of Demons" that I'm actually working on part 2 for right now.
Oh, okay.
Man, am I been working on it? Oh my god. Anyway, uh, yeah, I'm working on Speaking of Demons Part 2 right now, and it's that same concept, is me speaking to my inner demons, and it's more of like a self therapy session than anything for me. But
Right.
what is art if not a self therapy session anyway? So, but
Hey.
yeah, I love that concept when you can internalize your own thoughts and kind of have that inner monologue. Yeah, no, I really
Mm-hmm.
like that. Love that concept. I'm gonna bring
Thank
up
you.
our other artists to see what they thought about it. Lawrence, what did you think? You're muted, bro. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. You're muted. You gotta unmute yourself.
Okay, there you go.
There you
There. Are
go.
we there?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Here I'm talking to myself. No, Lady Crucible, always enjoy your poetry because it's so vivid and it speaks so loudly to me. And you guys talked about your inner demons like it's so bad. I talked to mine, and her name's Gwendolyn. You know, she inspires me a lot.
Not you gonna make me give my inner demon a name.
God damn. No, but I'm gonna come up with something fucking ridiculous though. You know what? You know me. It's gonna be like some fucking Jim Bob. It's gonna be Jim Bob or fucking.
Yeah, but again, your use of metaphors.
You gonna make me get Lady Crucible alter ego.
I like that serrated edge part because I could just picture it hitting me like that, and it's like my wounds. I wear so much on the outside of myself, and I show it to the world, and it's like I felt that knife coming right at me, and yeah,
and it's like they really know exactly which wounds.
Yes,
they definitely know which wounds to touch.
Right. But yeah, the inner demons, I want to welcome mine. Mine is Gwendolyn. She always speaks loudly for me. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Lady Crucible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Robin, what did you think? I'm gonna unmute you. Oh wait, you gotta unmute yourself. I don't know why it's doing that. There you go.
Last time,
You're having static. There's too much static. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
no.
I can hear you. It don't sound so bad.
Yeah, it's just like all static. I don't know. Is your phone plugged in right now? No. Do you have a pair of headphones?
I do. 1 second.
All right. Neela, what did you think?
Me also, but I have a piece where I'm talking about the knife somebody sticks inside of me, and I love the honesty of it, like the how it feels good, because now it's actually honestly inside. So what I resonate with your poetry. It's just
right. What?
the R&B's. So it's beautiful. It's always great. Love it.
Hey, say likewise, sis. Likewise. One day we're gonna have to put our heads together. We're gonna have to come up with a collaboration.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love the most about this show too, is that you guys can collab with each other and whatnot. Let's see, did Robin, do you have your headphones, or she had to? Oh, let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. All right. Well, if you were unmuted, it would be. There we go. That's perfect.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Again.
Well, what'd you think?
I loved it. I think we were on together at one point, and you're one of my favorites for sure. I think that your delivery is awesome. I think that you paint a really good picture, and you kind of draw people in with your excitement, or not excitement, but enthusiasm, your passion. The thing I really like though is at the beginning you asked the question, and then you went into what we would have to relate to, and then when you ask it again, it really makes you think, I think, even more, because you were already thinking about it, and then it goes damn, maybe I don't, I don't know. I dug it.
Thank you.
You're
Robin,
welcome.
You've always been too. You've always been one of my favorites. I love you.
Well, thank you.
Too.
I appreciate you.
And you too.
Yeah, no, I definitely echo what she was saying. Your passion and your enthusiasm is, it's unmatched. You just you can tell that you just put your all into everything that you create, and yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
and we'll catch you again. I'll catch you again in a few minutes.
All righty.
All right. Lawrence, let's get you up here, man. if my computer will load, man. All right, my man Lawrence is coming back to the circle. If you don't know him, he's a poet, he's an author, he's a teacher. He actually does, I mean, a lot of stuff. And he basically he has, like all of us, gone through quite a lot in his life. And he just, in his introduction last time, I think I kind of I don't know what we were having some technical difficulties or what it was, but I wasn't able to give him a full introduction. But he had wanted me to mention last time that he has faced some struggles in his life, including addiction, homelessness, and trouble with the law and whatnot. And they have all culminated in what he is today and what he is creating today. And I think that it, much like me, and I'm always a big advocate for this, and I'm always speaking my own truth and telling you guys about my own personal issues that I've had to deal with. But I think that it is admirable that he is using all of those things that he has been through to create and sort of guide himself into the light through the work of his poetry and his art. Anyway, he just wanted me to mention that, and I thought it was very important to mention that because it is the single most important thing about what he does. That being said, he goes by the poetic name or what do you call that? Not a pen name. That's it. He goes by the pen name Unexpected Poet. He's got a master's in education from the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas. He has a Facebook, a LinkedIn, a Reddit, a Quora, and Instagram. He's got, like I said, he's got a lot going on. On Facebook, it's Unexpected Poet. Or Lawrence Bechtel. On LinkedIn, it's Lawrence Bechtel. On Reddit, it's you dash kindly add 1882. If I have that down correctly. We'll have him confirm. Quora is also the Unexpected Poet. And Instagram is X Larry Bear X. He also offers master courses on writing and poetry, and things like that. And you can find that at the master's class is The Inner Voice of Poetry. And I believe you can find it on Udemy, Finding Your Inner Poetry. Again, this is new information he's had me add, so we'll have him confirm. But that being said, it's great to have him back, and I'm going to play his flyer and get him up here. Hey, what's up? Muted.
There we go.
Did I get that like mostly right, or like?
Yeah, you did. It was great.
I tried. I'm sorry.
I was giving you a thumbs up in the backstage.
I'm minorly dyslexic and very unorganized, so I try my best.
No, it was great. You did great plugs. I love it.
At least after like 6 times of you being on, I'm finally pronouncing your last name correctly.
Yeah,
we got to take the small victories. It's baby steps here. It's baby steps.
No, great stuff. And when you were talking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, I started getting teary-eyed again. I was like, going through so much.
Well, hell yeah, man, dude. And you know what? And I try to give everybody like that's what this show is about. It's giving everybody a space where they can come and do that and be as open and honest as possible and just let out their inner demons and
Yeah.
deal with things in a therapeutic way. And I really think that it's great that you know you the first thing that you say about yourself when someone asks you is you start with the struggles you've been through, because you can go back and watch any episode where I've asked you, okay, introduce yourself and talk a little bit about
Yeah.
yourself, which I just kind of did. The thing you start with and that you always ask me to start with is that you've been through struggles and that this is your way to get through them. And I think that is like the most fundamental part of what you do and the most fundamental part of what we all do. So I think that's great that that's the first thing you say when people ask you.
And just think that life is still worth it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for being
Yeah.
part of the show. We see you on the Facebook, or at least I do. I don't know about you, Brandon, but I see you all the time on the Facebook group, and every other poetry group that I'm part of, as well. And yeah, I would just love what you're doing. Great shit. Keep
Thank
it
you.
up. And again, thanks for being part of the community.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So you got some stuff to show us tonight, and
Yeah.
you've got poetry and then and artwork that goes with it, right?
Yes. Yeah. So if you would bring the artwork up as I'm talking, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. So which one did you want to do first?
So the first one we'll do is Ink of the Soul.
Okay, is that this?
Nope. That's the next one.
No. Is that
Nope,
this?
not that one. That's in case.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, hang on. Wait.
It's the one
Wait.
where it's actually me that's up against the wall.
All right, give me one moment. Yeah. For some reason it's not on my computer. Let me do it on my phone. I apologize, everyone. Yeah, no, I thought I had all three of them uploaded. I must have clicked on the wrong one. My apologies. So
could
the first
we
one
could do
you
we could do
did you
the
oh
toxicity.
oh no, it's
Oh,
I have it. It's just gonna echo like a son of a bitch for a second until I click the right buttons and get it up here. All right, there we go. There we
there we
go.
go. Ink of the
So tell
Soul.
me first, before you read the piece, I want to like, how'd you make this? What was the inspiration for it? What's the deal here?
Well, this one here, when I looked at things that were going on in my life, I felt like everything was against me and it put me up against the wall. And when I feel like I'm up against the wall, it's like something grabbing me and trying to pull me into something I'm not. And it's
Hmm.
like I wasn't kidding. My inner demon, if you will, is Gwendolyn, and people call it your inner voice. Uh, yeah, that she's that too as well. But I feel like I'm being drawn into that demon inside of me, and I'm trying to break free of that. And the Ink of the Soul is kind of that reflection of me trying to break away from that.
Man, you guys, I
And
feel
it,
like I feel like I should have had Speaking of Demons Part 2 done tonight so that I could perform it.
there you go.
you
There you
guys
go.
are
Yeah.
really pulling me in that direction here. And I really love that you guys all have similar there's a similar say. I like that I'm not alone in talking to myself, kind of, and having that inner voice and that inner demon that kind of drags me into the darkness. Um,
Right.
and yeah, it does make me feel not so alone, and I guess that is the point of the show that I do here. So
Absolutely. And
thank you.
and you're giving that a voice. And that's the fantastic part of this is you're giving it a voice. And each one of us, poets and artists, have that voice inside of us. And as we craft ourselves, we speak ourselves louder every time. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate you being on here. So you I assume you made this with a computer, right?
Yep. And I'm not a digital artist by any means, so I do use AI, but I do work it so that I take my poems and I take out certain words and I build on it. And then at the end, I put my face on it. So actually, the original artwork for this didn't have my face on it, but then I was able to put my face on it, and it all tied it all together very well.
That's cool. That's really cool. And I
And
think that there's I think that AI, there's a way to use it as a tool,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I've mentioned before, Eminem's latest album has him, you know, rapping in a voice that sounds like him when he's 20 years old, the Slim Shady voice. It's recreated with AI, and he also has an interview where he sits across from himself, and the him sitting across from himself looks like he's 20 years old, and it's an AI thing
Right,
transmogrified over his real face.
right.
And it's really cool, man. It was a fun video. It's an 11-minute video where he just kind of shits on himself.
Yeah,
And the album was really cool, and I think that it was a cool way to use, like, to me it's like auto tune, right? People have been using auto tune for decades, but
right.
it's only recently become a thing where they turn the auto tune dial all the way up to 100. It's like there's a way to use it as a tool, like
Yes.
just like Pro Tools. There's a way to use it as a tool without it being everything that, like, you know what I mean? It'd be like, and I think that as artists, like, um AI is like something that's really, it's really new, but it's
It's
really cool. And if we can find a way to, like, use AI to our advantage to create, like, and express ourselves, I
yes.
think I think all the better. Like, I'm all for I'm not all for the fucking Terminator shit, but I'm all for us using the AI for now to create art,
Yeah.
for sure,
and
for
it,
sure.
and it's a tool, and it's a tool for us to be creative because AI doesn't do anything for us unless we work with it. It doesn't just come at us, and it doesn't like automatically generate something for us. We have to give it the ideas. We have to
Well,
give
I
it
fucking hope
the
so. I hope so.
background.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying about the Terminator.
yeah. As of right
Right.
now, AI is that tool. And it helped me do illustrations to my poems because I'm not a digital artist by any means, but it was able to take my ideas, work with it, and I had to fine tune it because it gave me so many different images that were totally wrong. And I had to constantly work with it to get to where I wanted to see something that was responsive. I mean, was reflective of my poem. So it's not an easy solution by any means. It's a tool to help us generate and fine tune our craft.
Absolutely, man. I just definitely agree. Well, I'm anxious to hear this poem.
Okay.
Um, I'll drop myself out of here. If you want to say anything about the poem, by all means, but go ahead and do your
No.
thing.
All right. So this one is called Ink of the Soul. In the depths of my mind, a tempest brews, where shadows dance and whispers accuse. Bipolar tides, they ebb and they flow, a turbulent sea where sanity's woe. In the darkest of nights, my obsession takes hold, with blood as my canvas, a story untold. Each scar, a reminder of the pain within, a crimson confessions of the demons I've been. Haunted by whispers both cruel and unkind, I chase fleeting solace, and solace I find in the drip drop of blood, a make macabre symphony. Echoes of madness, a twisted tyranny. Yet beneath the facade, a soul cries out, yearning for peace amidst the doubt. Beneath the crimson veil, a heart still beats, longing for release from turbulent, cruel fates. So I wander in darkness, my mind amazed, trapped in a cycle, lost in its haze. But amidst the chaos, a glimmer of light, a beacon of hope, a piercing the night. For though I may stumble and falter in strife, with me burns the embers of life, and through the darkness may seem all consuming, I'll rise from the ashes, my spirit unblooming.
Hell yeah, man. I love that. Let me get us back on our, here we go. Um,
Okay.
I love that. And the first thing I love about your work and, you know, that piece in particular too, is you have a very old time, like you have a very not old timey, but timeless voice, you know, but
Yeah.
it has a very, you know, one of my favorites is Edgar Allan Poe. And
Yes.
that is the vibe that is the vibe that I get from you, you know,
Yeah, and I've
and
been studying him a lot, and that's why I'm excited about Halloween coming up because I've been working on a lot of dark
hell
poetry.
yeah. Hell yeah. I got you. Do so I don't mean to like put you on the spot on live air, but do I
No,
have you on for the 26th?
yes,
Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Make sure you guys tune in for our Halloween episode on the 26th. Hell
yes,
yeah. Hell yeah. Spooky
because
season. I love it.
that one speaks about my bipolar personality that I've not had to dealt with all my life until just recently. Nobody knew what it was. I didn't even know what it was, and to me, it was just like a split of my personality that came and went, and I never understood it. And it wasn't until I hit the lowest of lows of my life that I finally was diagnosed with it and was working, have been working with therapy on how to deal with it, that I didn't even know what it was. You know, it's that's what I was trying to bring out in that, and then the darkness that was within me that I never knew what was. It has a name now, and it's been kind of a reconciliation of my soul.
I like that. I like that. You know, and I think that's the best thing about writing pieces like that, or you know, me writing like my Speaking of Demons piece is, you know, not just the introspective therapy of it, but you know, it gives us a chance to put, because you can't fight a shadow, right? You
No,
can't
right,
fight the wind. You can't fight a whisper. You know, it makes it tangible. It makes it so you can grab a hold of it and fight it,
right,
and not, you know, not just fight it, but just interact with it and deal with it. You know, on a fundamental level, you know, and
right,
like I was saying, you know, it becomes, it turns it from a shadow, or you know, the wind, you know, into something that is now has a tangible shape and a form that you can,
right.
you know what I mean. And I think that's the best thing about it. um
And as people, I think we deal with things better when we have a name for it.
yeah,
If we
no,
have a name for
absolutely.
something, we were able to deal with it. We're able to recognize it. But when we don't have a name for it, it just lurks on us. It's like it overcomes us, and we can't face it. So
Yeah,
now that we have names for something bipolar, or we have some name for, borderline personality disorder or alcoholism and such, once we have it, we're able to face it and we're able to deal with it. And I think that
absolutely.
poetry does that so much for us. It gives
And
us
I
a name.
think, and you're right, names have power, and they give us the power, you know, to conquer things. But the dangerous thing is names can also have power over you, right? You
That's
know, you
right.
are
Right.
not, you when you get labeled with ADHD or OCD or
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
bipolar or schizophrenia, you know, there's this thinking that automatically comes. And I don't care who the fuck you are, you
Right.
know, at some point in your life, if you've been diagnosed with a mental disorder, it's gotten a hold
It's
of
a you.
you, and you felt like you are that disability, not, you know what I mean, like
Right.
that's your new name. Your new name is ADHD, your new name is OCD, you know what I mean? Because
And
um
that's the unfortunate side of it all. But for the person, now they know it, they can find the resources to deal with it, they can look for other people that they can connect to.
mhm,
For me, it's given me a name for my poetry. It's helped me to express myself better, now that I know what it is. But you're absolutely right, that's where society puts a label on us, and that's where it hurts. That's where
yeah,
it keeps us back, it holds us
yeah,
back from becoming something better.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I really just I like that, you know, in that piece it started off, it had that dark, eerie, Edgar Allan
Yeah.
Poe vibe. But then,
Yep, it did.
towards the end, you drew it into the light, right? You could see a
Yes.
ray of sunlight through the cloud, and it really made me feel that and captured the essence of that. So, that was a
Yeah, because
fantastic piece, man.
it's a journey that many of us go through, whether we have ADHD or we have bipolar or we have schizophrenia. There's that hope that once we know what it is and we deal with it, we can come out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree. I'm gonna bring these other artists up and see
Yeah.
what they thought about your piece. Did you Nia, what'd you think? No, you
Man,
muted
it's me,
yourself. There you go.
look, man, button ain't working today. The fact that you gave your demon, the fact you labeled it toxic, the fact that your demon was toxic, but you gave it a name.
Yeah.
So it's like you somewhat gave it some importance, but at the same time, let it know who's boss.
Yeah. Very much so.
Like, how did you grasp that control
I
to
didn't
be
even
able to
hear you.
like did you have to put it in a chokehold? Like how did you like because
To me, I've had these conversations with myself so many times that I was able to kind of grasp what it means and be able to form it to the way that is beneficial to me instead of being so destructive. Being destructive in the way that it's taken me to addiction, the way it's taken me to breaking the law, to being homeless. I had to just get a hold of it once I knew what it was, and then to deal with it and put it into perspective. And that whole process took years and years.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing to do is to gain perspective.
Yeah.
I think that's why the first step of the 12-step program is admitting you have a problem. It's gaining perspective.
Yeah.
That's the first step of doing anything in life is gaining the proper perspective on it. Absolutely. And I think
what's
that
weird,
poetry and art is the perfect way to gain perspective. And,
right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
and that's the empowering step. Once you know what it is, you become better than that.
Yeah.
You become one step better than that.
Absolutely. Neela, what'd you think?
Oh, the picture for one, the picture instantaneously, I was like, I'm with you. Okay, it was like, okay, I'm with you there. So okay, and then
Right.
as you read the poetry, it was like, oh, okay, that's definitely a perspective that matched the picture. Because I believe, once you get the perspective or the point or the hurt part that caused the trauma that made you go to all these windy different roads, then yeah, the healing begins. So I love that the picture is of you and it's not of some demon. Regardless, the picture is of you. There may be something peeking at the side here or the side there, but you're centered as yourself. Does that make
Thank
sense?
you.
Okay, that's just like my interpretation.
No, that was
I'm a
great. That
visual
is
learner.
perfect.
I'm a
I
visual
love
learner,
that
so picture
interpretation.
is what I would
Yeah,
decipher over anything. So sorry. Yeah.
absolutely. No, that was
Man,
great. Great.
and I tell you what, seriously, with that piece, like you really made me like I really want to have my fucking Speaking of Demons part 2 got done for you guys. But there's this thing where like it's like such a project for me at this point because I'm just like pouring everything into it. And but like yeah, I mean that is my favorite type of piece to write is that introspective
It is.
piece where where you're battling your inner demons and whatnot. Absolutely. Yeah, I
And I
really love
think
that.
maybe that's where that Edgar Allan Poe comes out on me, and that's where I feel really connected when I write. Is it seems so dark and gloomy, but there's hope at the end. There's hope because what I've gone through, I speak through it, and I want other people to know there's hope. There's a better way. There's something better out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Um, well, shit. Robin was supposed to go next, but
Did we
she
lose
is.
Robin?
Yeah, we lost her. I'm hoping she pops back in. So we have two choices here. Um, we can either go to Neela, or I can show you guys something I've been working on. I don't know. It's
Up to
up to
you.
you guys. What I'll leave
Dylan,
it up
what
to
have you
you.
been working on?
How about we go with something you've been working on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's.
I think that's great.
Okay. Shit. Do I have? I don't know if I have part two. What am I? I think I have some of part two on here on the computer. Yeah, no, this is mostly that's what I've been working on. There's a few side pieces, but though like not even like a 2 minutes of content there. So I'll show you guys what I have for Speaking of Demons Part 2, I guess. I'm really hoping Robin comes back. It's been so long since Robin has been on here. If you guys don't know Robin, she was like one of our most frequent guests when she first came on the show. So I was really excited to have her back. So hopefully she'll pop in. Let's see, get this loaded here. Shit. All right. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. This is Speaking of Demons Part 2. If you have not heard Speaking of Demons Part 1, go check out a past episode. Yeah. Here we are, Dylan. We're speaking again. The demons are creeping. They peek through a lens. They're right underneath and they're easily set, free of the cage you've been keeping them in. You thought you could beat me and leave me for dead, but you can't defeat me. I don't see an end. So let all the evilness seep to your skin and then bleed you again. Let it just leak to your pen. Go reap enemies where you try to get even with them. Yeah, this is the season for feasting again. So sharpen your teeth like a beast and start eating the meds like when we were a sped. It's as easy as writing an ear and N or counting to 3 in your head. Come on, man, don't treat me like I'm not the peace you've been seeking. I know that you need me to be you completely. I'm really just being a friend. Man, you think that I need you? You think that I need your deceit, dude? You think it's that easy to see through? Do you even see the shit we do? Each fucking week I reach out and I speak to like 300 people. These are my friends and my family, my equals. There is no doubt that my Lost Boys believe I'll defeat all this evil. They know I'll succeed and I'll be at the peak soon. They even make songs about me and the things we've achieved when their homie LB's going beast mode. You act like the boss, but my team's got the cheat codes. I beat you already. This don't need a sequel. Oh, you got a little name? Now you think this is a game? You're just cheating rise to fame? Well, I think it's about time someone put you in your place. Motherfucker, I ain't playing. I'm gonna set the record straight, man, because nothing really changed, and you've been at it for a year with no monetary gain. Yeah, working 12-hour shifts just to get your ass paid. Then come home every day and your energy's drained while you stay in a state of perpetual hate. And you know that the biggest mistake that you make is to sit there and pray and just patiently wait for the day you can sign off your name to a label or agent that says they could save you and take you away from this place. Like, dude, you could at least use the money you made to pay for the subs to go up on your page. I guess no one told you that life is the toughest of games and you must pay to play. And I know you're so fucking ashamed and about to just break because you can't get about your own way too afraid to just do what it takes. You screw a foreplay while these other dudes rape. So you knew why I came, to undo all the locks and then loosen your chains, let you off the reins and make sure that you're truly untamed. Induce all these mood swings like juice in your veins. I'm here to ensure you let loose some seducing your brain into using the anger and hate as the fuel to blow off the roof of this place like you just flew a plane at the fucking World Trade because humans do beautiful things when enraged and in pain. Yeah, I need you to goose on the gas. Don't you dare put your shoe on those brakes. Because lately, man, all of the moves that you make are really so neutered and lame. But dude, it's okay. I'm here to help boost you to space. I know that you're going so cuckoo insane with all of the time that you waste. I think it's about time that you made some kind of material gain. Or are you just lying when saying you're the guy that would trade his whole life for the fame and then die on the stage? Motherfucker, are you kidding me? You're telling me you didn't see all the things we did achieve? You're always trying to drain me of my energy. Man, where the fuck's the synergy? We're supposed to be a team. It seems like all you do is shit on me. And just because you're pissed, it shouldn't mean we suddenly start flipping, ripping on our enemies. I know we both remember just how bittersweet revenge can be. We got to quit just milking beef to fill our needs and empty dreams eventually. But you just think our inner peace is hidden deep within a fifth of beam. And that's why I don't ever listen to the inner me. Because all it does is intermediately switch between getting me all pissed in me and dissing me and bitching about my history. And you wonder why we didn't speak? Like it's some kind of mystery? Every time we do, we need to swish our mouth with Listerine and take an antihistamine because you're talking so much shit and I'm so sick of fucking listening. Like, do you not get the point of this shit? I'm not in it for dollars and clicks of the cars and the chicks. Yeah, you're right that I want to be rich, but not at the expense of my soul being sold to some dumb corporate bitch on some Satanist succubus trip. I ain't doing that shit, man. I'm not Taylor Swift. I ain't paying for clicks. You can tell all those labels to suck on my dick. They're just telling us fables. They don't want us big. They want us encaged and unable to live while they take all the pay from the work that we did. So I'll do it myself and I'll do it my way. They ain't having my masters or taking my name. I would rather think stage is exactly the same. I would rather be breaking my back over worked like a slave than to always be fake and be told what to say while I'm filled with self-hate being molded like clay to a dumb little puppet who can't fucking think. I ain't tying on strings just to get on the stage. I don't care if it's lame. I would rather be proud of the things that I made. I ain't changing my ways. And there's no fucking way that I'll ever be making my mama ashamed. Her light shines on her sun, so I call it sun rays. Because rainbows, they happen right after the rain. So when she looks down, I just call it her gaze because she taught me that happiness comes after pain. That's why they can't break me or chase me away. You can say what you say. I ain't waiting for haters to take on my faith. I am paving the way for the lost boys like me who just feel out of place till it's fading to black or I stay in the gray. I'll be in between nothing and everything great, but I'll still be myself at the end of the day. Yeah, that's that. There's one more verse to come, the outro verse. But that is the meat and potatoes, as they say. And Robin is back. But Robin, you can go follow her. Hold on real quick. I had a flyer for you. I got overexcited that you were back. So you can go follow her on Facebook at Robin Bowser, or you can go check out your Reiki Soul Studio. Do you still? Yeah.
I do it from home now, but yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, make sure you guys go check out that. And here's her. Sorry, life's short. You gotta stop and smell the roses. My sister came down with like a bouquet of roses, and I was like, "Well, say hi to the people. Get your
Hi.
face in here."
Hi.
Came back from homecoming.
Oh man.
No, it's fine. It's plugged in.
Well, thank you for being back on the show. We appreciate you being back.
No
Like I was
problem.
saying earlier, you weren't on here, but I was saying you used to be one of our most frequent guests, and you're one of my favorite guests. So I'm so happy to have you back. I've been wanting to have you back on the show for a long time.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I took a little bit of time off writing. I wasn't really feeling it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it was last full moon. I just started writing crazy. And what I'm reading tonight, it's kind of funny. Remember, you said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And it would like spark this whole. I was like, my days have been long, man. And then it was like, and it came out like over a 24-hour period. It was pretty badass.
Sometimes that's the best. I wrote a song called "Nothing Else to Say," and the first line of it is, they ask me if I'm happy, and I tell them I'm okay. I tell them that because there's really nothing else to say, and it started just because somebody asked me how I was doing, and that just sparked in my head. Literally, they asked me.
That was the first one you did on here, isn't that the first one you did on here? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome.
And now I contacted the guy that I found the beat for on YouTube. I contacted him, and I bought like an inexclusive rights to it where I can like make 1 million copies and sell 1 million copies, digital and physical. I
have rights to 2 beats.
Really, really cool. I'm having a friend help me produce that right now, but
that's awesome.
Yeah. No, and those are the best though. The stream of consciousness, right off the top of your head. I love that.
Absolutely.
So did you have a title for these, or?
I don't. Nope. No title. I just didn't even think about it. No, my phone is shutting down again.
Oh,
It's shutting down. All
oh
right.
no.
Sorry, my phone's just
Oh no. Technical difficulties, everyone. Hi, Brandon.
Sorry, jump back in.
Fucking oh, quality content, guys. This is great. Shit. I think she. All right. We're gonna keep an eye on Robin and her status, and we're gonna keep it moving here, guys. Um, hopefully she gets her phone turned back on. But I think Neela has another piece for us. So, what do you got?
This one is called "Teach Me What I Forgot." It's just a short one.
All right, teach me what I forgot. I'll have my man Brandon get that up for you, and I'll get myself out of here.
Alright. This poem is called "Teach Me What I Forgot." We all have to wear clothes. I want the one who protects my soul, who nourishes me mentally. That is what gives me wings. His half is my whole. He shows what I forgot in the words I don't know. Why I like being dumb or being the woman behind the man. Huh. It's really my point of view, not an opinion given to. I love being that whisper of wisdom. So who's the rib that hears them? Who's the author of my poetry? Who am I missing spiritually? That's the smile I chase. I want to remember our place. It seems to be this tree I seek. I sit and wait patiently for the one whose pen is like mine. Teach me what I forgot. I promise I'll remember this time. That poem is called Teach Me What I Forgot.
I really love that. I really love that. You seem e- ever like not every piece, but the pieces I've heard from you recently are very you have imagery of Adam and Eve and the garden in all of them.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, is that like um like what's your fascination? Do you is that something you intentionally do, or is it just like it finds its way into your pieces?
I think it finds its way sometimes. I think I am obsessed a little bit with the origin and simplicity right now. Like I 150% believe in the simplicity of finding the love of your life, eating food, and laying in a garden, talking for hours, and just chilling. Amongst other, nature. You know, um, and feeding off nature, which is what we all need. And to live in this state of self destruction, like I was saying, the political race and all this stuff that's so depressing right now. And so I'm obsessed with simplicity right now. So I guess, yeah, the Adam and Eve story just sounds like Eden to me, which is paradise right now. Just sounds
I
like paradise. So,
I
yeah.
like how you used I like that how you use that to frame the structure of what is essentially a love poem, and yeah, I really like that. I really like that. And I'm not somebody who's should probably be judging love poems because I don't really write a whole lot of them, or anything to do with. I mean, it's just a hard topic for me to write about. Not that I haven't, but no, I that was definitely one of my favorites. I like that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll bring these other artists up and see what they thought. Lady Crucible, what'd you think?
I mean, no matter what length you write, your pieces are so captivating. It's like I had to sit here and it was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on. And it's like I can literally walk the journey. And it was was like, man, we got here already. Like, can we go back? Like, I think I missed something. But it's like your portion is like a taste of fresh air. Where you can go out there. Remember how your grandma used to go out there, old people go out there when they want to know it's cold outside. They just go out there and they do this and over here. You sit up there as a kid wondering, like, what the hell? How, grandma? And you're a kid, you can't say what you really want to say, what's on your mind, but in your head, grandma, what the hell is you?
What is that?
What is that? So now you might have your friends looking at you all crazy because you out here doing it too. So what you doing? Because I'm trying to see if it's cold outside. Hold on.
Yeah.
What you just do? Shit, I don't know. I seen my grandma do it.
That's what it is. Passed down traditions.
I remember you told me one time on a deep cuts episode, on the deep cuts episode we did, that your grandma also told you, I don't know if it was the same grandma, but grandma also taught you this trick where, like, you take a quarter and you stick it to your head, and if it sticks, like, your third eye is open. Was that you who told me that? That's I thought so. Yeah.
I like that. And your third eye is open if it sticks. Yeah.
That's
People be like, "How yours stick?" I don't know. I
guess it's open.
You trick. What you do to get yours stick? I just took it and put it on my forehead. I ain't do nothing to it. I just put it there.
Right.
You can't get mad at me. Like, don't get mad at me. It's not my fault. I didn't make the rules.
Right. Lawrence, what did you think?
Well, it spoke to me a lot different than it did for you guys. It took me down the road of where I've had family and friends that have gone through dementia or Alzheimer's, and what we've had to deal with as far as teaching them what they already know. And it just took me down that road of where my aunt had it for 20 years, is down to the point where she can't even function as a 2-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what we've had to gone through for the 20 years of teaching her how to exist when she already knew it. So that's where it took me.
Yeah.
It spoke so well of what my relatives and friends have gone through. So I really appreciate that. That was very, very good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I work in healthcare too, so it may have mustard in there, for intention. So
Oh yes.
yeah.
Oh yes. That's how it spoke to me, and it was beautiful. It really put words to what they are going through or have gone through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic piece, and that's the other thing I love about this show is we all find a way, and honestly, just about art in general, is we find a way to connect with it in our own ways, and we all draw our own meanings from it, and we are able to relate to things that other people write, even if they write them 100% about themselves. Like, I'm sure I just spit like 4 almost 5 minutes of me talking to myself, and I'm sure that you guys found bits of yourselves in that, because that's what art is about, is at least if I did my job correctly, which I didn't ask anybody for feedback on that piece. I just kind of moved on with the show, but if I did my job correctly, you guys should feel as if there, even if I'm talking to myself, there's parts of you in it and you can connect with it. And I think that's our job as artists. And Neela, I 100% agree. You did a great job at making that a piece that's relatable. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's what I try to do. That's my
Yeah, no, that's the goal. I mean, that's the goal. Like, even before, my first, like I was saying with that piece I just spit, my first goal is to work my own shit out in my head. My second goal is to give somebody, like Eminem has this line where he said, I ain't here for the fucking children, but if one kid out of 100 million who is going through a trouble feels it and relates, that's great. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this for me. It's my therapy. But like, if I'm able to fucking reach out and fucking touch somebody and give them something of substance and have them take something away from it, that fucking all the better, because that's, you know what I mean? That's a win. That's what you call a win-win right there.
That's the
That was
mission.
beauty. And it's the beauty of your words. Definitely. They were very good. Very good.
Thank you. Again, it is still a work in progress. But if you've seen the first Speaking of Demons piece, right? The first 5 to 6 verses are me going back and forth, demon person or demon me. And then the last verse is kind of like an outro of like, okay, this is, I believe the last verse of the Speaking of Demons part we're on is like, this is a sneak peek of the things my demons say when they're speaking to me. And as you can see, my demons and we don't always agree. So it's like I'm gonna do another outro verse like that. But what you saw was the meat and potatoes of the piece.
That was
so
good.
thank you.
And you're right. And I was able to take several things out of there. And same conversations I've had with Gwendolyn.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we all have that. I mean, one of the what that is probably again and I know I can't stop doing, but again to reference Eminem, I mean, it's probably the truest line he ever spit is in every single person there's a Slim Shady lurking. Literally, I mean, everybody has that. Everybody has that fucking inner darkness, you know, and it's just about the artists who are willing. How far are you willing to go into what you're thinking versus what's socially acceptable to say and what people will react to, and how far are you willing to put yourself out there and be like, no, these are my thoughts, I don't care what anybody fucking thinks about them, this is me. And I think that's why, above all, before I talk about his, you could talk about his lyrical ability or album sales or whatever, but really at the end of the day, that's why I like Eminem so much and why I talked about him so much, is that he is one of the single artists that is able to, without any holds bar, express himself and say whatever the fuck he wants to say, express himself to the fullest without being scared of anyone judging him for it. Or I mean, and if he is scared of it, he only uses that fear as fuel to fucking go harder, you know? So yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I aspire to as an artist, is to just be able to take that and use it as the fuel and not be scared to fucking express myself in any way. And every artist I have on the show, man, I have yet to be let down. I have yet to have any artist on the show that I was like, that motherfucker's a sheep. Like, nah, you guys are all lions. You guys are all fucking head of the pack. Fucking, you got none of you guys are followers. You're all leaders. So, cheers to you. What's up, Brandon? Oh, we love you, Brandon. We love you, man. Oh, all right, guys. So next up, you. I choose you, Pikachu, Lady Crucible. You are my Pokemon. You are my next Pokemon. Yeah, I'm trying to collect them all. Right now on Facebook we got about 160. So we're collecting them. Anyway, so what you got? Another piece for us. What you got?
This piece is titled Solar Soliloquies.
Solar Soliloquies. That is quite the title. I like that. I really like that. Can you remind me what a soliloquy is again?
A soliloquy is like short lines, stanzas, kind of like.
Okay. Yeah.
But I kind of like off the deep edge with mine a little bit, so mine is short.
No. I know. I knew that it was a structure of poetry. I just couldn't remember which structure of poetry a soliloquy is. But yeah, no, that's a dope title. I really like it, and I like the alliteration of it too. Solar Soliloquy. Say that 5 times fast. All right, I'll drop myself out of here and I'll let you get to it.
All righty. This ball of fire spins, cloaked in rage, wraths of a million suns. This heart ablaze, beating against the chill of space. Its pulse, a cry for truth. Yet these flames lick the edges of this void, devouring silence. Each spark, a scream, the sun's lament. Welling through the dark, this cosmic fury set free. The weight of the light, burning bright, yet blind. It shatters the dark, like a blade slicing through realms. Who hears the pain of this blaze? Who feels the heat beneath my skin? Galaxies swirl in the eyes of the storm. Whole worlds tremble on the brink of collapse. Too close to the fire, too far from the calm. Solar flares like fists raised high, striking the cold. This dance of destruction. Can hope survive in the wake of the wrath? Can life bloom in the ash of the fight? Yet in the echoes, the whispers stir. This breath of resolve from the core of the sun, a seed of defiance, rooted deep in catastrophe. This promise that echoed through time, that warmth that calls forth the dawn, a cycle reborn from the dust and heat. In the heart of this storm, hope finds its way through the fire, through this rage. My soul is soliloquy, a testament to life. Poem.
Fuck yeah. I like that. And I it really it felt like it fit with it fit with the other piece you did. It felt like a in some terms a continuation. You had these introspective questions. Can you feel the heat? Can you even the blade metaphor was similar. Cutting the darkness like a knife through rails. I really like that metaphor, but I mean, again, your metaphors and the way you are structuring, it's so fucking tightly packed together. Each fucking line it takes you into another vivid and visceral image, and really fucking well at the same time making you think and turning your gears and bringing you into this introspective place. But in this one, I really liked how a lot like Lawrence's piece at the end of it, you could see like a ray of sunshine through the clouds, right? You saw yourself, you saw yourself, fighting through the darkness, and you're showing how your work and your art is a way for you to fight through the darkness and to shine that light. Like we've been talking about all night. You need the darkness to draw from the light. Neela's piece talked about it. Lauren's piece talked about it. My piece, both of my pieces talked about it. Everybody has that in the darkness, and everybody needs to draw from it to, we wouldn't be the people we are without that shit. And darkness creates beauty. It's just the way it is. And I love that you're using that to create these fucking amazing things. And I cannot wait for that fucking book, man. That fucking a whole book themed around fucking being in the darkness and rising up out of it by using your artwork. Like literally the theme of tonight's episode is the theme of your book. And I can't wait for that shit, man. I can't wait for that shit. That's great.
I can't wait till it go in circulation.
Absolutely fantastic piece. I'm gonna bring these other artists up and see what they thought. Neela, what did you think?
There we go. My mic is muted. I love darkness and beauty. That's my theme. So I always love your pieces. They're very commanding. And you sit and you listen and you pay attention and you always learn something or gain some type of healing or perspective. So I always love your pieces. I think you're muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There you go.
Thank you. Look, I'm over here talking on mute.
Lawrence, what did you think?
Again, Lay Crucible, hats off to you and your use of metaphors and vivid imagery. You took me on a journey in the Milky Way and brought me back. I just really appreciate that. And your words just flow so well. Um, it's just astonishing. I really appreciate your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, love it.
Hey,
Yeah, as
I'm gonna
always,
start.
you guys
Okay,
are
well,
fucking fantastic, all of you. Lawrence, I'm gonna have you read us out.
Okay.
Um, and we got one more um visual aid here. Give me 1 second. Fuck, where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. And
I'm gonna
it is the girl, right?
yes. But I'm gonna do the beautifully unbroken piece with that one.
Oh,
Beautifully broken.
oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Huh. All
Not the
right. Cool. Cool. Cool.
toxicity
Cool.
one.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I'm
really
not
like
sure.
that.
Okay.
And I mean, first, let's tell me about this piece. Well, actually, hold on. Let me comment on it first because I have
Yeah.
ADHD and I'm gonna lose what I have to say. Um,
Okay.
I like that they all the faces somewhat look like her, but they all look slightly different too, as if they are
Yeah.
different versions of her.
Yeah.
I also like that they could be either tears in space and time or shards of glass. You can I see them as both, because they are both reflections of her and tears in the space-time continuum in my brain because they're different versions of her. These are my
Wow.
interpretations of this piece when I look at
Wow.
it.
That's good.
I have a crazy imagination, so that's how I'm seeing this piece,
No, that's
as
great. That's great.
both reflections and tears in reality.
So you see
And
the
just but they
you
could
see the
but
reflections a
but
little.
then the whole thing could be a reflection of her mind, right? It's
Yeah.
tears in the reality of her mind, her different her shattered psyche. So it could be a metaphor for the shattered glass is her shattered psyche, but then the tears in 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 the space could symbolize how her mind is tearing apart. I don't know. That's how I
It's
read.
good. That's perfect because that and when I was thinking toxicity in yourself is the original poem that I wrote for this. And my idea when was creating this image is each of us has these layers and layers of toxicity that we go through in life and that either we adapt to it or we take it away or it tears us apart. And that's the poem that I had originally wrote for that. But I also was thinking beautifully broken would fit so well with this because the woman's beautiful, but at the end she's broken. And then what are those pieces that break her apart? And that's what I see coming from her.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look, like, the reason I say different versions of her, right, is because you look closely and they all somewhat look like her face, but some of
Yeah,
them have sunken eyes. Some of them look like a ghost version of her. Some of
yeah.
one of them, I believe, it looks like she has blonde hair or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it feels like she is. It literally looks like if someone drew schizophrenia and like said somebody said to an artist, here, draw me schizophrenia. Now, given I'm not schizophrenic, um
Mhm.
I have artists on here who are Neela and Caleb are both, that's a big part of their work.
Yeah.
um so you'd have to talk to them, but and we'll get her commentary in a minute. But yeah, that's the way I interpret this, is just the the visuals. I can't even talk.
The visualization of her life story is what I was trying
Yeah,
to pull
and
out of
yeah,
this.
of her mental instability and brokenness. Yeah, absolutely. I fucking love it, man. That's great. That's
Thank you.
really great.
So
Um,
just the last minute switch is to beautifully broken. That's what I was going to do. Is
all right, cool.
that all
Yeah,
right?
sorry. That
No, that's all right.
yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
All right.
What?
Beautifully broken.
Hold on.
I used to think, oh,
Sorry.
no problem. We're all good. Okay, here we go. I used to think that brokenness was a flaw, a crack in the facade, a blemish on the raw, but now I see that brokenness can be a grace, a beautiful mark, a sign of life well placed. In the shattered pieces of my heart and soul, I found a strength that I never knew I had in whole. I'm not afraid to show the world my scars because they tell the story of love and stars. My brokenness has taught me to be kind, to embrace the imperfectness of my mind. No, to see the beauty in the cracks and the flaws, and to love myself even when the world appalls. I used to think that being strong meant never falling apart, but that was a lie. But now I know the world is my art. Through strength is being brave enough to break and to put the pieces back for my life's sake. So I embrace my brokenness with my arms wide open. I celebrate the beauty that it charms. I'm beautifully broken. That's okay, because in my brokenness, I found a new way.
Fuck yeah, man. I love that.
Yeah,
Let me get
that's a
this. Let
good
me get
one,
this
man.
out of here, man. And that was honestly the perfect piece to end this show because, uh, and oftentimes I find myself saying this, but we have no theme for these shows, right? We just come on here and I just say everybody just bring two pieces, and
Yep.
they can be anything, any length you want, any about any subject, right? And then somehow it's funny because somehow the universe, almost every time without fail, brings us together and makes our somehow like it's like when you go to work and you and your best friend or you and your work buddy are like wearing the same outfit. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
on a grander, more spiritual scale, you
Right.
know, like we all by complete coincidence all picked and that's what 2, 4, 6, 8 poems that are all themed in towards the same thing,
Right.
using our art to fight through our darkness
Absolutely.
and
And come
overcome
out
our light
beautiful.
and accept it and overcome the darkness into the light and accepting that our darkness is part of us and what makes us who we are.
Right.
Somehow 4 different people from across the globe or from across the country without any prompting all selected pieces that fit that theme, and there's no explanation for that than than us being connected. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And the fact that you guys are all reoccurring guests, you guys are all part of the community, and we all vibe off each other, like that has a lot to do with it. But it's something about the universe, and we were not brought together by coincidence. And
No.
and I mean not just meeting each other, but like tonight, right now, this specific batch of artists that I managed to get for this show at the specific time I managed to get them. Like, not, I just don't believe in coincidence. It's just like,
No.
I'm not religious either, but I don't believe in coincidence, and I think the universe has brought us together for a reason. And it's amazing, man. I fucking thank you for
Yeah.
closing us off with that
Yeah.
piece. That
And
was
I
the
thought that
perfect.
was a better, yeah, that was a better piece because the other one was kind of glean. Toxicity. It's like it's a part of us that eats away at us, beautifully broken. Kind of just gives us hope that no matter what we have in our life, the facade that we live, we all are beautiful inside and out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good, good.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, but yeah, it is okay to not be okay. I
That's right.
just
That's right.
I
Because
can't
we're
stress
all
that
okay.
enough. It's okay to be not be okay. And
Yep.
when you're not okay, sometimes you can use that to make other people feel more okay.
That's right. And
And
that's
and
what
then
I
that,
try
and
to do
that's
with
what
my
it is. And,
words.
and if we all just do that, then it's a circle. That's why it's the fucking
That's
circle,
right.
man. It's not just because we
Circle.
sit
That's
around
right.
in a circle. It's because it's a circle. Like we are, you know, we have no beginning and no end. We all fuel off of each other, you know.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about, man. So thank you for being part of it. Real quick before we end the show, I'll bring these other artists up to just give their feedback on your piece real quick. Um, Neela, what'd you think?
Oh my God, the picture, and yes, I can say it does reference the schizophrenia. That's always your the demon, the demon that you see, and then the shattered glasses are like the voices that you hear, the stories they want you to live, the lives
That's
they
right.
want you. They always want you to live the sorrow and the negative, and you're fighting not to be that person that won. So
Right.
it's the piece is beautiful because regardless, that darkness is what makes those poetic pieces, the art, all those things. The darkness is light regardless,
That's right.
because it's just a pure vessel. So yeah, it was a beautiful piece.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Nia, what'd you think? Oh, hang on. I think I muted you. There you go. Sorry.
When I tell you, you couldn't have picked a better piece to end the night with, beautifully broken. When you can take the shards of your fragileness and sit there and glue it back together piece by piece, and I'm talking the thinnest, finest shards
Yeah.
of your fragility. And when you can piece that back together and stand and look at yourself, what Mary J. Blige say? Good morning, gorgeous. And you feel whole, and you can feel that in your man. It ain't nothing like it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
yes, I
Thank you.
that I'm
Thank you, Lady
that
Crucible.
yeah
Thank
that,
you.
that
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot. There's one thing I did want to mention. Freaking, my favorite artist, um, is currently my favorite artist is Jelly Roll, and that is because he is the most just genuine artist and individual I've ever seen, and is both his music and the way he conducts himself in life. And his new album is actually that comes out in 6 days on the 11th is actually called Beautifully Broken. And I had thought of that when you had said the title, but yeah, and literally his new album is all of that is that concept is it's okay to not be okay. I think the lead single is actually called I Am Not Okay. And it's about that very thing. I'm not okay, but it's okay to not be okay. We are beautifully broken and that's okay. And it's gonna be okay because we're gonna use that as the fuel to fire the light, or to spark the light.
And that's Jelly Roll.
Yeah, go, dude. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm gonna look that up.
he's fucking amazing. He is like, I can't talk his praises enough. Like, my hands down, my favorite artist. He's just an amazing dude and an amazing artist, an amazing writer, an amazing singer. Just hands down, the one of the coolest dudes I've seen. And
Okay.
I'm really disappointed he lost at the Grammys. Freaking, he was nominated for a Grammy, which is still saying something, but he did lose at the Grammys, which I just found out. But I mean, like, again, the guy doesn't let anything fucking get him down. He uses that as fuel for the fire, and that's one of the things I love. So, yeah, go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's good.
And everybody else, thank you guys so much for being part of the show. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you to everybody who watches every week and supports every week. Make sure you guys go check us out on all these platforms right here. Thank you, Brandon. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and anywhere else you find your podcast. We're live every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. And Twitch, that's what it's called. It's not Steam, it's fucking Twitch and Twitch. So go check us out there. And then the audio versions will be on all those other platforms I just named. Check out our Lost Boys Presents Deep Cuts. Keep a lookout for our Lost Boys Presents Lost in the Woods, and catch us next Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, everyone.